All right, this shows Mark on a loose rein. You can see that he started out just standing nice and still. To get him to go, all he did was just probably click a little bit, use his body a little bit to get him to go. Very easy to get him to go, but equally easy to get him to stop. I think one of the remarkable things about Mark is he hasn't been ridden for several days. Any horse you could get to look like this, probably if you exercised him for 4 or 5 hours and worked up a good sweat and got him tired. But we just went out to the field, got Mark, brought him in, threw a saddle on him, hopped up on him. He stood there nice and still, and when he wanted to go, just a slight body movement, slight indication of the reins, and he took off into a nice paced walk. Now you can look at this, you can see how loose the reins are. He doesn't need to be held back, and this is a nice slow walk. Now that doesn't mean by any means that Mark is a deadhead horse. You want Mark to go. Mark will gait, Mark will gallop, but he's very easy to control. Basically, you want him to go, he'll go. You want him to stop, he'll stop. We have a number of horses here on the farm, and Mark is our preferred riding horse. All of our horses are always for sale, but we admit that we have favorites amongst them. And when we go out for a ride, I ride usually Mandy, and my wife always rides Mark, because he's just such a great horse. Every day he's the same. He's not moody. Look at this. You can see how loose these reins are, and and he's just walking along at a nice slow gait. But he's very easy to ask to pick up into a Tennessee walking gait, and at some point here you'll see that he does that. He's also very easy to stop when he's walking along like this. Basically just a little bit of whoa, sit back in the saddle, just pull the reins back just a tiny bit, and he'll stop. All right, there he asked him to go into a gait, and you can see it didn't have to ask very hard. And now when we got Mark, he had a little bit heavier shoes on. If you put heavier shoes on Mark, he'll look a lot flashier, pick up his feet a lot higher, and so on. But we're into trail riding, and so we just put very light shoes on him. He does have good feet, but we have very rocky soil. We're on a ridge, so we do shoe them because of the rocks on our trails. But you can see here he's got a nice easy walk, and then very easily brought him down to a slow walk. Here you see he just pulled back ever so lightly on him, and then he stopped, and then he asked him to walk on a little bit more. And he just stands nice and calmly. Now here we're going to show you a little bit closer up him going from a gait slowing down into a walk. And if you watch closely here, all he does to get him to slow down is just sit back slightly and pick up the reins just a tad, and he slowed right down to a walk. So there's Mark, and we made this video because someone asked to see how Mark performed on a loose rein, and that's him.